Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's topic, we're going to discuss a player that I feel personally should be in Baltimore, that's not getting talked about enough, and could be the missing link when everything is said and done. And do you know what player that is? No, not Mike Evans, not DeAndre Hopkins, but Marcus Peters. Now, hear me and hear me good, right? The reason why I brought this up is because right now he's a free agent. He's on the team. And we're scratching and clawing to find young and mid-level players to fill that role. And sometimes with certain players, it's not just production that they give. You know where I'm coming from? Some people, on top of the production that they give the team, they're able to channel something. Aggressiveness, unity, whatever it might be. But what it does is it rallies the troops. And as a Raven fan, everybody should know exactly who our best person like that was. That was Ray Lewis. Okay? Everybody knows that. But Marcus Peters seems to be that for this defense. Now, we're missing some pieces, like our best sack person. Of course, Houston. We're missing our best run stopper, and also, our second overall best lineman in Calais, because he's now a Falcon, and also Marcus Peters is gone. But I think the one that we cannot afford to lose is Marcus Peters. I want y'all to see this real quick. Did you see the way the secondary played differently? Even when Marcus Peters was getting burnt sometimes, because remember, he was coming off an injury. He was trying to work himself back into football shape during games, during the week. You saw him running bleachers, just trying to, you know what I mean? Because everyone saw he put on a little more weight and stuff like that. And did you see the difference in the secondary when he played? Did you see the difference in our safeties, the way that they were able to help rally to the ball when he played? Man, I'm having a brain fart. But our other corner, who doesn't like macaroni and cheese, he's a totally different player when Marcus Peters is out there. So then one has to wonder, everything he gives doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And if that's the case, I think it would be very foolish for the Ravens to move off of him at this juncture. Now look, I know he's older, he's not as explosive as he used to be, but he's still very serviceable. We watched in the playoff game when he was playing mad against the Bengals, there's a lot of plays that he made in that game. And we've seen when he was coming back, there was other plays that he had made or told people to get into certain coverages. Think about it. Even one of our best defensive outings in the last 2 years, it was because he was on the sideline calling out plays and telling guys what to do. Y'all forget that? I don't think the Ravens can afford to let this man go, because here's the crux. If he leaves, right? And of course, we have our other players on defense, right? What if they don't, because he's not there, they don't play up to expectation? We already took away probably 3 of the biggest voices on our defense on the same offseason. That's Houston, Calais, and him, Juice Man. So then it's like, okay, so do you think that this team, after especially seeing how there was no proper vocal leader during the trouncing that the Titans had gave to us in 2019, don't you guys think it would be a little foolish for us to move off of a Marcus Peters? Tell me in the chat if you agree or not, because I don't want him gone. I don't want any stuff that can happen out of the blue. And one of the things that can happen is our corners getting torched all game long because they're just not in sync. Marlon Humphrey. Oh my God. I was having a brain fart. I couldn't remember his name. My God. But Humphrey plays totally night and day when Peters is on the field. Total night and day. It's like he remembers how to catch the ball when Marcus Peters is on the field. He remembers sometimes he's supposed to force fumbles when Marcus Peters is on the field. He's less likely to get burnt over the top when Marcus Peters is on the field. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at the defense in its entirety. It was a good defense, but in my mind, it wasn't a great defense. We gave up the most yards for 10-plus yards, right, in the NFL, and we gave up the highest fourth quarter scoring in the NFL. Those are two no-nos. Championship teams do not do that. Because if you're a good team, you're able to close out teams because either you're able to secure a lead and hold the lead in the fourth quarter to milk the clock, and your defense can make timely stops or timely turnovers to give back the offense to make sure that the other team cannot score. Our team didn't do that well. Our team did not do that well at all. Do you know to me, one of our best defensive showings was last year in the playoff game with Marcus Peters. The energy that he gives doesn't show up on the stat sheet. The mentality that he brings doesn't show up on the stat sheet. The ferocity in which he plays doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And everybody around him respects the way he plays, respects the way that he does business, because guess what? At the end of the day, players make plays, and good players and leaders can lead troops. There's no one right now on the defense you can definitively say can lead. Most of them are young bucks. Do you trust Marlon Humphrey to be that guy? Huh? Tell me, please. Brandon Stevens to be that guy? I know a lot of people are saying Roquan. Right? Do y'all think Roquan's that outwards leader? I don't think he is. I think he's a guy that leads. He wants people to follow him because he leads by example. There are different type of leaders. You understand where I'm coming from? Not all leaders are vocal. Like I told y'all many times before, my favorite wide receiver growing up was Andre Johnson. That was one of the quietest receivers you will ever see in the history of the NFL. The only time he wasn't quiet is when he had to beat down Cortland Finnegan. And because Finnegan was an absolute pestilence to everybody. I know y'all remember the corner from the Tennessee Titans. That's how I can remember this off the top of my head because he was my favorite player for a long time. So that's why I'm thinking we can't do without this man. I really think DaCosta needs to take a step back. He's been doing well. I'm not going to lie to you. The draft, getting Lamar signed, the whole nine, he's been getting the job done. I think there's two moves that he desperately needs to make. He needs to regain and re-get back, whatever you want to call it, Justin Houston, and he needs to get back Marcus Peters. I think Marcus Peters has at least 2 more years left on his tire. And I think those 2 years are worth having on the Ravens because what he also gives is turnovers. Do you know what great offenses thrive off of? Turnovers. That means they have more cracks at the end zone than the opposing team. And when you have an offense that we're hoping that this offense can be, well, I'm even hoping for it can be. Lamar Jackson, all the offenses led by Lamar Jackson is the second highest scoring quarterback, only behind Patrick Mahomes. So now with better weapons, this is most likely going to be a very potent offensive unit. Now imagine that offensive unit with multiple cracks or more cracks at the end zone because the defense is causing multiple turnovers, interceptions, running back interceptions, running back fumbles, sticking dudes in the backfield, tackle for losses, sacks, strip fumbles, strip sacks. Bro! Oh, strip sacks. Pause. Ayo, pause. Those two guys give you that. I would think, honestly, in my opinion, I think it would be incredibly foolish if we don't look or try to re-sign a Marcus Peters. Let it be a 2-year deal. Let it be a 2-year deal. Second year, you can cut him if there's any injuries or anything. But, incentive, first year he earns most, if not all, his money. You know what I mean? Do it that way. But I truly do believe if we do not have Marcus Peters, this defense isn't going to come in like gangbusters. It's going to take a very, very, very long time for them to get their feet or get accustomed to playing, because we already seen without what this defense looks like without Marcus Peters. We've seen what the run stoppage looks like without Calais Campbell. It doesn't look good. But most of the teams will. But here's why the Marcus Peters thing to me hurts more than the Calais Campbell. Are teams running more? Yes, because everybody's playing the pass better. But here's the thing. The AFC, who are going to be our primary opposition, is chock full of quarterbacks. And almost every single one of those quarterbacks have a number one receiver. I think out of the 10 or 9 of them, only maybe 2 of them don't have a true number one receiver. You understand where I'm coming from? And we're not even adding, some of the people that have joined the AFC, like a Jimmy Garoppolo, who's been to the Super Bowl. You know where I'm coming from? So this is why I say what I say. With that much firepower in the AFC, you're going to need guys that can take the ball away. Force careless turnovers. Because if we don't, we're going to be in multiple shootouts. Because I'm telling you something right now. Out of the top 9 quarterbacks in the entire league, 8 of them is in the AFC. 8 of them. 8 of them. Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Burrow, I'm talking about Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lawrence. Of course, Jalen Hurts is in there. So that's 8. You might want to put Dak at 10, but that would still mean it's only 1 out of 9. 1 out of 9. 1 out of 9. So, yeah, re-up. We got to get this guy re-signed, and let's get to business. But tell me what you think in the comments, because I want to know what everyone else feels about the Marcus Peters thing, because I truly feel we cannot go far without him. I do not believe we can. So, EDC, if you're watching this, please re-sign that man and let's go win a Super Bowl. Matter of fact, let's go win. Scratch that. Let's go win multiple Super Bowls with an S. Plural. Plural. And that's another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you all for watching. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. I love the comments. Just be respectful to people's differing opinions, because I know there's going to be people with different opinions down there, and there'll be no problems. Okay? And if you would like to donate to this channel, like so many have done already, at the bottom of the screen is a QR code, and it's for a Cash App. You can find the Cash App in every description of every video that we'll do. Okay? And it goes by the name #The Wunderkind Show. Also available in the description is the new Patreon for this platform, which if you become a patron, it gives you access to the Discord, gives you access to questions from subscribers, gives you access to contests for free merch, and it gives you access to the fantasy football league that we will be running this season. So once again, this is the Wunderkind Show. This is your host Nitro signing off, and as always, you guys knows my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yep.